Three Countries Textile Project brings together artists from Mali, Nigeria, and Indonesia for an exchange of ideas, culture, and artistic practice. The Malians work in bogolan, the Nigerians work in adire and batik, and the Indonesians work in batik. All are accomplished artists who have been working for many years. The renowned group Bogolan Kasabani, who pioneered the revitalization of bogolan in Mali, hosted this unique cultural exchange. The 10 artists worked together during the month of December 2005 in the studio conservatory of the group Bogolan Kasabani in Segou, Mali. The artists came together across continents, climates, languages, ways of thinking and working to produce works of art together, exchanging materials, techniques, and ideas about art and about culture. The bridging of the African Anglophone-Francophone divide is especially significant. In a world where unity and understanding across cultures is difficult to achieve, these artists have a common goal of cultural preservation through researching the material culture and cultural production within their own traditions in order to bring them into the present and forward into the future. These sacred traditional textile techniques use local materials to express thoughts, hopes, desires, and events.
Je veux mettre d'autres couleurs. Je veux mettre d'autres couleurs.
Oh oui, il y a la Sangodare, c'est comme ça, non?
It goes up to slowly.
Javanese batik can be understood by looking at the interconnectedness of art and how it is inextricably interwoven with fine art, philosophy, spiritual power, and social etiquette. The process of batiking is a meditative practice requiring concentration, patience, and a quiet heart. For the Javanese, batik is an integral part of their cultural identity. Nia and Ismoyo have been exploring the rich, traditional root of the ancient batik textile tradition to produce contemporary textiles. The artworks and the connections between the artists developed and grew in the short time they spent together in Mali. Each work was begun by one of the participants who worked on it to a certain point and then handed it off to another artist to take the work to a next step. The same cloth might be worked on by as few as 3 or as many as all 10 artists. The works developed as they were passed from hand to hand and changed from technique to technique, using brushes, quills, chalk, pencils, chaps, stencils, jauntings. Some mornings the artists gathered to look at all the works in process and decide on the next steps and the work for the day. Sometimes decisions were made less formally throughout the day. Bogolan is the Malian technique of vegetal pigments and clay on cotton cloth. Traditionally, bogolan was used only for clothing. The group Bogolan Kasubani moved the technique from craftsmanship to art. The group traveled throughout Mali to research the traditions of bogolan. This enabled them to read the significance of the cloths, which were in danger of being lost because of the cultural disruption that resulted from colonialism. Their insistence on using local materials and elevating materials associated with craft is a strategy employed by many contemporary artists throughout the world who use the materials at hand in their work.
It's okay.
Chambre.
Dans sa chambre. Ça dépend.
Moi, des fois, par exemple, si la partie est claire, tu fais sortir le clair et tu laisses l'autre.
In a world where unity and understanding across cultures is difficult to achieve, these artists have a common goal of cultural preservation through researching the material culture and cultural production within their own traditions in order to bring them into the present and forward into the future. These sacred traditional textile techniques use local materials to express thoughts, hopes, desires, and events. Adire is one of the oldest and most important traditional artistic textiles among the Yoruba of southwestern Nigeria. Indigo is the dye most used in producing adire. Traditionally, a dye-resist method from starch made from cassava flour was used. The wax-resist method, called batik, was introduced many years later, which allowed the use of multiple colors. Yemisi is an innovative textile artist working within the realm of traditional Yoruba cloth and motifs. Sangodare is one of Nigeria's finest artists and one of the remaining representatives of traditional Yoruba culture. Collaboration is never easy. It requires great trust in oneself and in the collaborator, and the results are not identifiable as anyone's usual works. This is a difficult position for accomplished artists as these, who have worked long and hard to master the techniques and express their souls and convictions through their art, and who are known for their style and level of accomplishment.
Might be nice to dip that one again so the colors are not.
The result is a blending of the techniques in new and surprising ways. There is the interplay of natural and chemical dyes. It is often difficult to tell which is which. There is a juxtaposition of batik, which is a resist technique where areas of cloth are blocked with wax, and bogolan, where clay and pigments are painted directly onto the cloth. There were technical questions about whether it was even possible to work with clay and natural dyes on the same cloth as wax and chemical dyes. Would the natural dyes withstand the chemicals and hot water necessary for the batik process? Was the natural palette of bogolan compatible with the hot colors of the Nigerian artists? Would the meticulous meditative work of the Indonesians be visible on the same cloths as the bold designs of the others? Should precious time be spent talking out questions or working? 2 days before the end of the workshop, the question of wax removal was put to the test. The wax was removed in a chemical dye bath in boiling water, and the natural colors of bogolan.
You're brave.
In a very short time, the artist produced an astounding number of beautiful, moving, insightful works. Hopefully, this first encounter will mark the beginning of an ongoing collaboration and exchange. Once all the artists return to their own studios, the ideas that were provoked, inspired by the encounter, will continue to emerge. With continued direct collaboration, this exchange will grow and continue to take form in ways that will be challenging and pleasing for the artists and for the public at large.